Hello children, our today's topic is development of embryo, how the development takes place. So let us learn about this topic in detail. Suppose there are two parents, male and female. This is a symbol for male and this is a symbol for female. So what happens? Male will produce male gamete which is called sperm. Female will produce female gamete which is called ovum. When sperm and ovum fuses together, it forms a zygote. So this happens after fertilization. Male gamete sperm combines with female gamete which is called ovum to form a zygote. Then zygote divides repeatedly to give rise to ball of cells which is called embryo. So how the development of zygote takes place? It will go on dividing repeatedly and it will give rise to ball of cells which is called as embryo. So the zygote turns into embryo. This is the developing structure. So here already I have told you, cell will unite to form tissue, tissue will unite to form organ, organ will unite to form organ system, and finally one organism. So this embryo will get embedded to the wall of the uterus in the mother's womb. The development of baby takes place. So the baby starts getting all the body parts such as hands, legs, head, eyes, ears, etc. It starts forming all the body parts. So then it is termed as fetus. Once again, let us try to understand what is meant by a fetus. The stage of embryo in which all the body parts can be identified is called fetus. After all the body parts are formed, then the baby is fully formed and the mother gives rise to baby after 9 months. So this was about development of embryo. Children, you have to understand that how much pain mother undergoes to give birth to you all. So you have to respect each and every women, not only women, your parent, father, mother, and each and every individual we have to respect. Dear children, now let us learn about fertilization in hens. What is the type of fertilization? Hens undergo internal fertilization. That means the type of fertilization which takes place inside the female body. So the zygote divides and travels down the oviduct. Oviduct is a part of female reproductive organ. Then many protective layers are formed around the eggs because it should be hard, it should not be broken when it is laid. So protective layers made up of calcium carbonate are formed. Then the laying of the egg takes place. And the time taken is about 3 weeks to develop from embryo to the chick. How many weeks? 3 weeks time is required for development from embryo to chick. Then what is meant by incubation? You might have seen hens or other birds sitting on the egg to provide warmth. So hen sits on eggs to produce warmth to the eggs. So after complete development, the shell bursts open and the chick comes out of the shell. In case of animals showing external fertilization, development of embryo takes place outside the female body. This is the main difference between internal fertilization and external fertilization. So, for example, in case of frogs, I already told you that fish, frogs, starfish, etc. undergo external fertilization. So, if we take the example for frog, after the embryo develops, the eggs hatch and numerous of tadpoles comes out from the eggs. And I already told you the reason why numerous eggs and sperms are produced. so that they are not eaten by the predators, wind current, rainfall, water, etc. So that's why numerous eggs are laid. So this is the method of fertilization in hens, and also I told you about external fertilization. Dear children, I hope you understood about internal and external fertilization. In our next topic, we will be learning about oviparous and viviparous animals. Good morning children. Our today's topic is about viviparous and oviparous animals. Let us try to understand what is meant by viviparous and oviparous. Let us start with viviparous animals. So, the animals that give birth to live offspring, that means live babies, are called viviparous animals. Whereas, the animals that lay eggs which hatch into offspring are called oviparous animals. So, in simple, the animals which give birth to young ones are called viviparous animals, and the animals which lay eggs are called oviparous animals. Now let us see some of the examples of viviparous animals. That means the animals which give birth to young ones. So some of the examples are mammals such as cow, horse, dog, cat, human beings, etc. Once again, what are the examples of viviparous animals? Mammals, cow, horse, dog, cat, human beings, etc. And now let us see some of the examples of oviparous animals. That means the animals which lay eggs. So examples are birds, snakes, frogs, butterflies, etc. So I hope you understood the difference between viviparous animals and oviparous animals. Now let me tell you something about duck-billed platypus and spiny anthidium. Once again, duck-billed platypus and spiny anthidium. What is so special about them? So the important thing about them is they are the mammals, but they do not give birth to young ones. They lay eggs. That's why they are considered separate from other viviparous animals. They are mammals, but they do not lay eggs. So, I hope you understood about oviparous and viviparous animals.